This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is, what the heck did it? Tuesday, November 1st, 1 week before the election 2016. The title of this rant will be, Hey, mainstream media, STFU about Hillary's emails. There is no there. And I would add, and you know it. So the mainstream media, for the last 25 years, has picked up on this concept that Hillary, because she's extremely smart, is not really exceptionally forthcoming when she talks. She's very careful. She's guarded. She knows what she's saying. They feel like she's holding something back. So therefore, she must be corrupt. And we're going to get to the bottom of this shit. So the only way to do that is to investigate. And of course, this was all brought up by the right-wing scheme machine. They saw her in 1992 as a smart, intelligent woman. She wasn't like all of her predecessors as First Lady. They knew that they could go after her and go after her big time. With it all being a crock of shit, just like the Vince Foster thing, just like, remember all of those airstrips in Arkansas that were selling, that were bringing pot in from all over the place? None of that stuff ever happened. All right, but we need to investigate, we need to investigate. So the whole thing came up about the emails on Friday. Of course, James Comey has shown that he really kind of is a political hack, because he's trying to pretend that he's not a political hack by being a political hack, so to speak. But the thing is, he had all kinds of information in reference to the fact that there was a coordinated effort by the Russian government to hack the DNC of their emails, and the Homeland Security and someone else put that out on October 7th. But he wouldn't put it out because he thought it was too close to the election and that was being political, so to speak. But on October 28th, there was no problem with dropping that shit about Hillary stuff, where we have that we know and knew right from that first day that what was in question was not any single email that was sent or received by Hillary Clinton, and that there's a good chance that this is duplicate information that has already been reviewed by the FBI. And that there is absolutely no hint of wrongdoing in all of this. Of course, Comey didn't come out and say that. He just said he wanted to be cautious and to let him know that he didn't say that he was opening it up. But you see, he knew that the Republicans would take this. And let's go into one other thing real quickly. We know that the Republicans had told him behind the scenes that basically, we're watching your ass. And if we find out anything and you don't release it, we're going after you. Maybe not quite as bad as that. So basically what happened is that career people at the FBI who basically thought Hillary should be indicted, to every time they went up to someone in Justice basically said, there's nothing there, dipwads. But they were so convinced of her for guiltiness, so to speak, they started leaking this kind of stuff. And of course, Comey basically said, well, if they're going to leak it, then I'm going to have to come out with the whole thing, even though his job was really to find out who did the leaks and then investigate them and then to charge them. No, he had to come out all over again. So what do we have here? Again, not one single hint of wrongdoing. What do we have coming out of that? Just wall-to-wall coverage about Hillary and her emails. And I listen to all these different radio stations. I wait until the top or the bottom of the hour as I'm driving to hear what they're saying about it, and it comes off right off. And of course, CNN has just abdicated any type of fourth estate promises in doing in covering the news as it should be. It's all about Hillary being corrupt, and we're in dire need of further investigation into all of this. And again, as I said, this all started over 25 years ago with the right-wing scheme machine going after it. And of course, we have a couple other things that have been going on. So we know that right now, that come November and early December, Donald Trump will be in court for two things. Number one, he's going to be in court for Trump University. And number two, he's going to be in court for child rape of a 13-year-old back in the early 90s. We know he's going to be in court for that. We also have found out since the Hillary stuff came out on over the weekend, because what goes on is when something like this from Comey comes out, the reporters, especially the good reporters, dig much deeper to see why this all came about, and to find out that not only did we know that the Russians were hacking into this type of system, we also have found out that we are aware that the FBI is aware that there is a dedicated Trump server that is talking only to a dedicated server to a bank in Russia with ties to Putin. And they're conversing back and forth, and they have been set up. Each of them was set up very securely and discreetly so that most people would never know it even existed. But it's been found out. And they've noticed that by the pinging, it's not, they were looking at it to see if there was a hack of a Trump server. But no, there was no hack of a Trump server. It was coordinated talking back and forth between the server here in the United States and in Russia. We also have found out that, Trump showed up at a charity in the mid-1990s for AIDS as if he had contributed to it, and he didn't contribute one single penny to it, that the people there were just aghast that he even showed up. He plopped himself right down on the top, in the top table or on the dais or whatever. Just unbelievable. We know that his taxes are just a complete stinking mess, and if the IRS doesn't investigate him based on all the stuff they're coming in right now, holy moly. Again, we go back to Hillary's emails. We know that the dedicated server was never hacked. No one ever broke into it. No one ever stole anything from it, which you can't say that about the regular State Department servers, etc. But all this stuff with Trump is coming out all over the place. Again, his charity is a bunch of bullshit. He's really screwed the IRS over on the way he does his taxes. And we also find out that he has deleted thousands upon thousands of emails over the years, especially when he's in getting sued and people want to do discovery, that this stuff has been set up. And of course, I understand that even his server right now is based on a Windows 6 module or something like that. It's very, very old cryptic system, so to speak. Shouldn't be used at all at this particular point in time. But again, what we have is the mainstream media jumping up all over the place, all over Hillary, about something that really doesn't matter. We haven't had, 5 minutes of a conversation on global climate change. Trump came out today with, his plan for the replacement of Obamacare, which was health savings account, which we know you give the people this much money, it really isn't quite enough to get going. And then as the subsequent years, you don't give them any more, you give them less. So the health savings account is just a bogus way of trying to say that you're going to be just as good as Obamacare. And again, if we seeing the mainstream media go in about that. So we're getting close to the election. I hope all this stuff on Trump really comes up and that the mainstream media just STFU about all this email stuff. There is nothing there. There has been nothing there. And even if it's investigated when she's president, there will be nothing there.